Howdy, Practical Patriots and Practical Preppers. Yokote Grus. How's Texas? Hey, folks, you're on a Practical Nurse. So why do you need a 30, a 40, or a 60 round capacity magazine? That's a question I get asked by two different kinds of people. The first one being kind of judgmental. They don't think any of us should have what they consider high capacity magazines, which by their definition is any magazine that can hold more than 5 or 10 rounds. They also happen to think that those of us who are pro Second Amendment, that those of us who are pro firearm enthusiasts, and those of us who are preppers are crazy. The second kind of person are people that just don't know. Okay, these are your brand new first-time firearm buyers, and they want to know a scenario why you would need something more than 10 rounds. That with that is also like my friend who I went to college with, who I nicknamed Biff. Now, Biff didn't know anything about firearms. Biff came over to my place one day, and I had just came back from the range, and he saw my 2 rifles and my range bag. He reaches in my range bag, pulls out a mag, and says, "Why do you need more than one of these? Don't you just stick this in your firearm, shoot all the bullets, take it out, reload it, reinsert it back in your rifle, and shoot that?" I said, Biff, that only works if you go to the range. Just imagine if you're by yourself, or if you have maybe one friend or something like that with you, and then all of a sudden a group of insurgents came, a large group of insurgents, start coming after you, hell-bent with the intent of killing you. Then 5 or 10 rounds probably won't do you much good, and definitely if you have one of these, you're definitely going to need a lot more. So it makes me think about Biff, these little situations that's happening these days, and how he would kind of react if he was in his ritzy glitzy kind of neighborhood, gated community, and then all of a sudden a mob of people started surrounding his house, hell-bent on killing him. How would he react if he had his rifle, but only one 30-round magazine?
Excuse me, attention, all rioters and looters. Yes, all of you threatening to kill me, my wife, and my dog, and burn my house down. Look, I only have 30 rounds, and there's 300 of you. If you could just kindly line up in rows of 10, that way 10 of y'all can share one bullet. We'll just get this party started, okay? All right.
So folks, all jokes aside, it's easy to see why anybody who's a Homestead Defender can use a 30 or 40 or 60 round magazine, because you may be on your own. And I honestly believe that it's everybody's inalienable right to defend themselves. When they're faced with overwhelming odds, I don't care what a politician says. Okay, I'm going to use what works best for me to make sure that I preserve my life and to preserve my right to pursue happiness. It's that simple. Now, let's talk about that first group of people that don't think that you should have any 30 or 40 or 60 round magazines. Now, those are the same people whose cities are on fire right now. Those are the same people that politicians that during a eulogy say, "Oh, these are only peaceful protesters." But the last time I looked at peaceful, it didn't really involve burning, looting, and terrorizing people. It's that simple. It also doesn't involve blocking traffic. That does not allow emergency vehicles like fire trucks and ambulances to get through. It's that simple. Now, it's really interesting because those same politicians are the ones who say you can't have what they consider high-capacity magazines. Yet in the same breath, they'll say we're defunding the police, which that just has taken your ability to call someone to come help you when you need them. Make sense to you? It doesn't to me. What else can we say about them? That's the same politicians that will also, a couple of years ago, say we're not coming for your firearms, yet today they'll look you dead in the eye and say, hell yes, we're coming for your ARs. Hell yes, we're coming for your AK-47s. And then when one of them was talking to a group of workers, he said, "I don't work for you." But the last time I remember an elected politician, they do work for us. They're supposed to represent us, okay? And none of this is making sense. Therefore, I'm going to cry political hypocrisy. My mother's people learned a valuable lesson of when people told them to turn in their firearms and the government will take care of them. We're still feeling that after almost 200 years. So that said, folks, by all means, while they're still available, while they're still cheap, go out and grab you some. Because you need 30, 40, or 60 round magazines. Because when tyranny becomes the norm, then rebellion is the course to take. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying going after to start violence. I'm saying be a homestead defender and defend yourself. Same politicians are letting these people run amok. Because have you heard one ever yet say this needs to stop? The burning and looting needs to stop. Have you ever heard it once? They're not. They're actually fostering this petri dish of hatred. And you as a homestead defender need to defend yourself. Companies and friends have sent me all kinds of magazines. So my promise is this to you. I'm going to test every single one of these. I'm going to give it a fair, honest, practical review. And I'm going to shoot videos of it. And I'm going to show you how well these work. I'm going to show you the practical use of them. You know, in other words, why I would use it, why I keep them. That's my promise to y'all. Yes, you need 30, 40, or 60 round magazines. Don't let anyone tell you don't. Because they're not there at your doorstep defending you. You're on your own. They're going to defund the police. That means you have to defend yourself. But they want to take away your magazine, our magazines. They want to take our firearms away. So we're left defendless. So their modern day brown shirts can storm our suburbs and our country living in peace. Right. Questions, comments, leave them below. I'm Johnny the Practical Nurse. Till I see y'all again. Grab those mags while you can. They're cheap and available. Out here.